Welcome back to Fluent English with Ray Audio. Great to have you here. And before we dive in, let's talk about something I am sure many of you have experienced. Sometimes you just cannot control your thoughts and don't know why, right? I am here to tell you that it is because you are using the wrong approach. Most people try to fight negative thinking by sitting still and hoping their mind will calm down. But the more you push a thought away, the stronger it becomes. According to Tony Robbins, you must change your state first. Then your body, your emotions, and your focus will follow. When your state changes, your thoughts will follow too. Tony Robbins, one of the biggest names in self-development, has spent decades teaching world leaders, athletes, and millions of people how to master their emotions and their minds. He doesn't tell you to sit quietly and wait to feel better. He teaches you to take control because you are the driver of your life, not a passenger. The 7 tips today come from his core philosophy. These strategies are not soft ideas. They work fast and create real change. If you apply them, you'll realize your thoughts are not as powerful as they seem. They only feel powerful because you've been letting them run freely. Once you learn to direct them, everything changes. Tip 1. Change your state first. Motion creates emotion. Your brain does not wait for reasons. It does not sit down and think about whether it should feel good or bad. It reacts immediately to your breathing, your posture, the speed of your movement, and the volume of your voice. When you change your body, you change your thoughts. This is not just an idea. This is how the nervous system works. Scientists have proven that your physical state directly affects your mental state. When your back is curved, your face is down, and your breathing is shallow, your brain automatically thinks you are weak, afraid, or failing. Your body goes down, so your thoughts go down. Your body goes up, so your thoughts go up. There is no exception to this rule. Think about it. When you feel confident, how does your body look? Your shoulders are back, your chest is open, your head is high, you breathe deeply, you move with energy. Now think about when you feel depressed or anxious. Your shoulders drop, your chest closes, your head hangs down. You breathe in short, weak breaths. You move slowly or not at all. The body and the mind are connected. You cannot separate them, so if you want to change your thoughts, start with your body. So what should you do? Change the shape of your body immediately to feel more confident and powerful. Open your shoulders, open your chest, lift your chin. Take 10 deep breaths, filling your lungs completely each time. Change the volume of your voice to sound stronger, even if you are just talking to yourself. When you feel more powerful and confident, negative thoughts become weaker right away. This happens because when your body enters a power state, your nervous system switches from fight or flight mode to action and clarity mode. Your emotions change, and then your thoughts change with them. Your state determines your thoughts, not the other way around. You do not need to convince your brain with words. You just need to move your body, and your brain will follow. Tip 2. Redirect your focus. Your brain does not separate what is real from what is not real. It only reacts to the point you are focusing on. For example, if you focus on loss, you feel worry. If you focus on ability, you feel strong. Your brain makes bigger whatever you look at. The longer you look at something, the bigger it becomes. A tiny negative thought can grow into a huge problem if you keep your focus on it. Focus works like a magnifying glass. It makes small things look giant. This is why some people can turn a small mistake into a disaster in their mind. They focus on it so much that it becomes the only thing they can see. Your brain always follows your focus. It does not choose what is true or what is important. It only gives energy to whatever you point it toward. So you must ask yourself immediately when a negative thought comes. Ask this question, right now, what am I focusing on? Then ask this next question, is this focus hurting me or helping me? Be honest with yourself. If your focus is on something that makes you weaker, you must redirect it. After that, redirect your focus to something you can control. Look for solutions instead of only focusing on emotions and letting emotions control you. The reason this works is simple. Focus leads to emotion. Emotion leads to thought. Thought leads to behavior. If you change your focus, you change the entire chain of reactions. This is why people who focus on problems stay stuck and people who focus on solutions move forward. They are not smarter. They are not luckier. They just know where to point their mind. Tip 3. Change your questions to change your thoughts. The quality of your life equals the quality of your questions. Your brain always answers questions. It is designed to do this. If you ask a bad question, it gives you a bad answer. If you ask a powerful question, it gives you a powerful answer. Questions decide the direction of your thinking. For example, if you ask why this always happens to me, your brain looks for blame. You feel powerless. You feel like a victim. You feel negative. But if you ask where is the opportunity here, your brain looks for solutions. You feel action. You feel clarity. You feel possibility. The question you ask creates the answer you get. Most people do not realize they are asking themselves questions all day long. These questions happen so fast that you do not even notice them. But they shape everything you feel and think. When something bad happens, your brain immediately asks a question. If that question is why am I so unlucky, you will feel terrible. If that question is what can I do about this, you will feel empowered. Same situation, different question, different result. So replace negative questions with active ones. Instead of asking, why me? Ask, what can I learn from this? Ask, what else could this mean? Ask, what is the next best step right now? Good questions pull your thinking towards solving, not suffering. When you ask better questions, your brain has no choice but to give you better answers. This is one of the fastest ways to shift your thoughts because your brain is designed to answer whatever you ask it. So ask it something useful. Stop asking questions that make you weak. Start asking questions that make you move. Tip 4. Break the pattern. Every negative thought is a habit, not a truth. Your brain runs the old loop because it is convenient, not because it is correct. Negative thinking works like this. You worry. Then you imagine something bad. Then you worry more. This cycle repeats itself over and over. It becomes automatic. You do not choose it. It just happens. If you do not break this loop, it will run by itself until you lose control. The loop becomes stronger every time you let it play, so you must cut the loop before it takes over. This is a pattern interrupt. It is one of the most powerful tools in Tony's system. When you are stuck in a negative thought pattern, you cannot think your way out of it. Trying to think positive while you are in the loop does not work. You need to shock your system. You need to interrupt the pattern with something physical, something sudden, something that breaks the rhythm of the thought. How do you do this? Say to yourself in a strong way, "Stop." Say it out loud if you can. Make it sharp. Make it clear. Then change your posture immediately. Stand up. Walk out the door. Take 15 to 20 steps with energy. Change your breathing. Breathe in fast and strong, or breathe out long and slow. Use cold water and splash your face if you need to. These actions reset your brain. When the loop is broken, your brain loses the script it was following. The negative thought cannot continue. This is not about ignoring your feelings. This is about refusing to let a thought pattern control you. You are the one in charge, not the loop. When you interrupt the pattern, you prove to yourself that you have power over your mind. And once you prove it once, it becomes easier every time. Tip 5. Use emotion as fuel. Emotions are tools, not enemies. Strong emotions are not meant to be avoided. They can be a source of energy that helps you move forward. Many people fear their own emotions. They think anger is bad. They think fear is weak. They think stress is dangerous. But emotions are just raw energy. Anger has power. Worry has a need to protect. Fear has a warning signal. Stress has intensity. If you use the energy from these emotions, you become strong. If you fear them, you lose. If you try to hide from them, they control you from the shadows. The mistake most people make is treating emotions like fire. They think emotions will burn them, so they run away. But emotions are more like fuel. If you know how to use them, they can drive you forward with incredible force. The people who achieve great things are not people without emotions. They are people who know how to channel their emotions into action. So when an emotion rises, ask yourself, how can I use this energy to act? For example, if you are angry because you have too many tasks at once, use that energy to solve the tasks that are waiting. Do not sit and complain. Move. If you are worried about the future, use that energy to make a plan. Write down what you are worried about and what you can do. If you feel pressure to create a good product, use that energy to raise your standards. Let the pressure push you to do better work, not to freeze. Do not sit with the emotion and let it burn you. Turn it into momentum. Emotion is not the problem. What you do with it is the problem. When you learn to turn emotion into action, you stop being controlled by your feelings and start using them to move forward. Tip 6. Control your inputs. Protecting your mind is as important as caring for your body. If you don't, your energy drops, your health worsens, and you feel weak. If you take in junk inputs every day, your mind breaks down in the same way. Bad inputs create bad thoughts. For example, bad news, toxic content, drama, negative people, and social media full of comparison pull your mind down. You cannot control your thoughts if you keep feeding your brain with garbage. Your mind reflects what you put into it. If you put in poison, you get poison out. Most people do not pay attention to what they consume mentally. They scroll through social media for hours. They watch news that makes them angry or afraid. They listen to people who complain all the time. They read content that makes them feel bad about themselves. Then they wonder why they feel anxious, jealous, or depressed. They do not realize that they are choosing to feel this way by choosing what they consume. So reduce your social media time to less than 30 minutes per day. Unfollow things that cause you stress. If an account makes you feel worse every time you see it, remove it. Add 3 good inputs instead. Listen to a good podcast that teaches you something useful. Read a book for 10 minutes that makes you think or feel inspired. Write in a journal for 5 minutes to clear your mind. Practice gratitude by writing down 3 things you are thankful for. These actions may seem small, but they are powerful. When your inputs change, the quality of your thoughts automatically changes. You do not need to fight your thoughts. You just need to feed your mind better food. Clean input creates clean thinking. It is that simple. Tip 7. Identity Upgrade. For Tip 7, keep this in mind. Identity equals destiny. You act according to the standards of the person you think you are. Your thoughts change when you upgrade yourself. If you see yourself as weak, your thoughts will be weak. If you see yourself as someone who gives up, your thoughts will tell you to quit. If you see yourself as someone who takes action, your thoughts will be active. If you see yourself as someone with high standards, your thoughts will push you toward excellence. Identity comes first. Thoughts come second. This is why 2 people in the same situation can think completely differently. Their identity is different, so their thoughts are different. Your identity is like a filter. It decides what thoughts you accept and what thoughts you reject. If your identity is "I am not good enough," then every thought that says you are not good enough will feel true. Every thought that says you can succeed will feel false. But if your identity is "I am someone who solves problems," then thoughts of quitting will feel wrong. Thoughts of action will feel right. Forget trying to fight every single thought. When you change your identity, your thoughts will change automatically. So ask yourself this question. If I were my strongest version, what would I think right now? Ask this too. If I were someone with high standards, how would I react? Then act according to your new identity. In this case, action leads to thinking. You do not wait to feel ready. You act like the person you want to be, and your thoughts will follow. When you raise your standards for yourself, you raise your standards for your thinking. You stop accepting low-quality thoughts because they do not match who you are becoming. This is the ultimate form of control. You are not fighting your thoughts. You are becoming someone whose thoughts naturally align with strength, clarity, and purpose. These 7 tips are not theory, they are practice. Thoughts are not the starting point. State is the starting point. When you control your state, your thoughts have no choice but to follow. You do not need to wait until you feel better to think better. You change your body, and your feelings change. You change your focus, and your thoughts change. You ask better questions, and your brain gives better answers. You break the loop, and the negative thought loses its power. You turn emotion into action, and you stop being stuck. You clean your inputs, and your mind becomes clearer. You act like your best self, and your thoughts rise to meet that identity. This is how you control your thoughts, not by sitting still and hoping, but by moving, acting, asking, and upgrading. Your mind follows your lead. Lead it somewhere worth going. So do you want to control your thoughts or let them control you?